Hi sweet loves, welcome to Willow's Book Apothecary and my March reading wrap up. March has been a month. It is always a month. As we're wrapping up the energetic year, we're processing through a lot. I read 5 books this month and I unfortunately did not read as many as I had hoped and anticipated. I am currently writing a novel. I've been writing a collection of poetry. I had 5 book clubs that I was signed up for this month. I'm running a business full-time. I launched my Lore and Light series on my YouTube channel, which is a daily literary wisdom series where every day I read to you little excerpts that stand out to me in books as I read. So I would say this month was definitely a case of biting off more than I can chew. So hence I was only able to successfully actually finish 5 books, but I am still in the middle of a bunch of them. I'm finding that this year I am really gravitating towards stepping outside of my comfort zone because I'm so ready to unlearn a lot that has been shared with me throughout my life as far as what truth is. So I've been reading a lot of authors that are either Eastern philosophers, Black authors, Indigenous authors. I'm really gravitating towards those works right now. And also I am really trying to learn how to appropriately approach conversation revolving these topics. With that said, what I read this month. The first book that I read this month that I ravaged from beginning to end was Hungerstone by Kat Dunn. I checked this one out from my library after seeing it go viral all across the board, and I loved it. I thought it was haunting, I thought it was gripping, it was very uncomfortable. I think the reason why a lot of people are going to find this book uncomfortable is because it revolves around people pleasing and how uncomfortable we grow the more that we cave into what others want that isn't necessarily in alignment with ourselves. This novel was beautifully written and it is a sapphic vampire love story, so there is a little bit of spiciness in it. And if I had to take a song to put toward this book, if you have heard Labor by Paris Paloma and you like that song, you will like this book. As far as nonfiction goes, I read Imagination, A Manifesto by Ruha Benjamin. I am in the process of sharing all of my little excerpts with you on my Lore and Light series. I found out about this book through another YouTube content creator. Her name is I Understood, and she creates content for multi-passionate creators who might be suffering from imposter syndrome or being seen or learning how to use their voice from a place of love. I will actually put I Understood, her channel, in the description box below because it's definitely worth checking out. But she had sent out a newsletter and she had mentioned this book, and immediately I went to my library and checked it out. To do full justice to this book, I want to read to you what it says on the jacket. A world without prisons? Ridiculous. School that fosters the genius of every child? Impossible. Work that doesn't strangle the life out of people? Naive. A society where everyone has food, shelter, love? In your dreams. Exactly. Ruha Benjamin, Princeton University professor, insists that imagination isn't a luxury. It is a vital resource and powerful tool for collective liberation. Imagination, A Manifesto, is her proclamation that we have the power to use our imaginations to challenge systems of oppression and to create a world in which everyone can thrive. But obstacles abound. We have inherited destructive ideas that trap us inside a dominant imagination. Consider how racism, sexism, and classism make hierarchies, exploitation, and violence seem natural and inevitable, but all emerged from the human imagination. The most effective way to disrupt these deadly systems is to do so collectively. Benjamin highlights the educators, artists, activists, and many others who are refuting powerful narratives that justify the status quo, crafting new stories that reflect our interconnection and offering creative approaches to seemingly intractable problems. Imagination, A Manifesto offers visionary examples and tactics to push beyond the constraints of what we think and are told is possible. This book is for anyone who is ready to take to heart Toni Morrison's instruction, dream a little before you think. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. It really expanded my perception on so many levels of what has been deeply ingrained and rooted into me growing up. And so I found so much wisdom to be gained. So I highly recommend this. Next, I picked up the Serviceberry Abundance and Reciprocity in the Natural World by Robin Wall Kimmerer. I'm a huge fan of her books. This is her newest book, published in 2024. Kimmerer really draws beautiful parallels between plants and the Serviceberry and our human civilization, and how we can really come together into a more cooperative gift economy. And truthfully, this really appeals to me. This was a very short read. I believe there's less than 150 pages. Let me see. We're 109 pages. So I would definitely recommend this over a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and to really allow yourself the space to contemplate how we can do better in the natural world and to stop taking things for granted. And the last two books that I read were both of Joy Harjo's memoir. I love Joy Harjo. I am on my second round of listening to her masterclass on poetic thinking. These memoirs, Crazy Brave and Poet Warrior, are absolutely beautiful. So Crazy Brave was written in 2012. And what I really like about this is that she breaks down her experience at this time through the cardinal directions. So each cardinal direction has a meaning behind it. So she broke it up between north, south, east, and west. And I'm trying to find the pages. So she starts off with east. East is the direction of beginnings. It is sunrise. When beloved sun rises, it is an entrance, a door to fresh knowledge. Breathe the light in. Call upon the assistance you need for the day. Give thanks. East is how the plants, animals, and other beings orient themselves for beginnings, to open and blossom. The spirit of the day emerges from the sunrise point. East is also the direction of Oklahoma, where I was born, the direction of Creek Nation. So she starts her book off with East, and then let me find the next one. Then she goes north. North is the direction where the difficult teachers live. This is the direction of cold winds. The color is white, sharp, and bare. It is the direction marked by the full moon showing the way through the snow. It is prophecy. Then she transitions into west. West is the direction of endings. It is the doorway to the ancestors, the direction of tests. It represents leaving and being left and learning to find the road in the darkness. And then finally, she transitions into south. South is the direction of release. Birds migrate south for winter. It is flowers and food growing. It is fire and creativity. It is the tales of two snakes making a spiral, looping over and over an eternal transformation. I really appreciated this, as I do resonate with cardinal directions and their symbolic meanings, as I feel like I'm kind of all over my own personal map right now, and I really resonate with Joy Harjo's writing. It embeds itself deep within me. So Crazy Brave was great. This is my second time reading it. This is my own personal copy. And then I was at the library and saw that she had recently released a new memoir, and I was so excited. So this is Poet Warrior, and both of these books are on my Lauren Light series, so if you want to hear more details about them, by all means, go check out those videos. She breaks up this specific memoir into a few different parts. Ancestral roots, becoming a post-colonial tale, Diamond Light, Teachers, and Sunset. And what I really liked that she did in this book is she took stories from her first memoir and actually expanded them a little bit in this one. And I like that because as we gain more time and wisdom, such as a decade between when these two books were published, you gain more insight about why things happen to you and the perspective on the central players, so to say, and the environment that played into that experience for you. So I like that she kind of cultivated more awareness and felt free to expand in that within this book. There was one specific aspect of this book that just completely brought me to tears. It felt completely serendipitous of her experience of knowing she had to leave Honolulu after loving living there. And if you don't know, I spent a year living in Hawaii and Honolulu, and there was like a gentle knock on my internal door saying, hey, like, your time here is up. You learned what you need to learn and it's time to go. And learning how to honor that inner voice and know that I need to go home, I need to go where I belong, and be grateful for the time and the experience that I had there. She had the same exact experience as she describes it here in Poet Warrior. And so having that mutual understanding was so incredibly beautiful for me. So my loves, that's it. I loved everything that I read this month. I mean, I have so much gratitude for all the effort and work and devotion that goes into like the creation process of a book, and then like the resources that it takes, the energy of the publishers and the editors, and then printing it on paper made from trees. It's just like, it's becomes so much more apparent to me as I continue on this journey. So with that said, I do have a March book haul, but I got so many books that I'm just gonna do an entirely separate video. So keep an eye out for that. And so with that said, I hope everyone had a wonderful March, and I will see you soon. Happy reading, Booktube.